Welcome to Podnutz Daily for April 8th, 2009, episode number 160. Had a couple of interesting jobs today. Not today, I mean this week. What's today, Wednesday? By the way, Lost is on tonight. You guys have to watch that show. First, I want to talk about a Dell laptop. It came in because we did a job on this laptop before. We cleaned it up and everything. But some keys weren't working on the keyboard. Now, there's a couple reasons why keys don't work on the keyboards. Most of the time, it seems to me like somebody spilled something on the keyboard. It seeped in between the circuit boards there, and it created a short circuit or some kind of damage, and keys won't work there. Other times, it could just be dust or a buildup of something under the key, food, dust, that can be cleaned off. Well, this customer brought it in. It was a Dell older, like a P3. Took the keyboard out. I sprayed. And I know we already cleaned this keyboard, so we had to do whatever we had to do to save this keyboard. We're gonna have to do like just extra, whatever we'd have extra beyond what we would normally do. And there's still not a chance it might not work. In which case, buy a new keyboard. But I just wanted to see if I could get it to work for the customer. So I took some electrical cleaner. That comes in a little red can. I forget the name of it, the brand, but it's just a normal electrical cleaner. And I spray it under the keys. And then I just take my hands and I just press my palm. I press the whole lot of keys down. I shake the keyboard because you don't want that electrical cleaner to stay wet. If it seeps in between the circuit boards there, even though electrical cleaner is it evaporates very fast, you don't want it sitting in there under the keys while you have the keyboard plugged in. It might make things worse. So I just bang the keys, press it down, pre-pressing it, shaking it around, pressing it down, banging it. And I'm sitting there, and the customer was here while I was doing it, and I'm sitting there on my chair, and I just had the keyboard in one hand, and I'm just slapping the keys, like pushing the keys for like 3 minutes. And she's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Are you just hitting that thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's all we gotta do. You know, that's all we do here to fix computers. We just hit them, we talk to them, and we give them back." Anyway, so I finished doing that, made sure that the electrical cleaner was all dried, put the keyboard back in. It worked. Gave it back to her, sent her off. Then I had another laptop that was the next one in line I needed to do. This was an HP DV6000. These are famous for coming into the shop for different problems, but mainly bad motherboards, where you hit the power button, all the LEDs come on, you hear the fan spinning, and then nothing, no picture, no external, nothing. That was the case with this one, except in this one, and I'm not sure it happens like this for all of them. The fan comes on, spins like full speed, just like fans normally do when the BIOS starts. And then this one calmed down, went back to a normal speed, which makes me think that the motherboard is a little more sane than motherboards that just crank the fan full speed the whole time. So I think this one had some hope. Well, anyway, I was going to take this one. I was going to take this one all apart. What did I do on this one? What did I do? Okay, I was going to take it all apart and inspect the motherboard, inspect different things, but I just took out the memory, I took out the hard drive, and I took out the wireless card. So it's just sitting there, basically, the computer, the screen, with no hard drive, no wireless card, no RAM in it. And I said, well, maybe, you know what? I'm like, this worked for the last customer, why not try it on this one? So I took the computer, and I started banging my hand on the keyboard. I'm not punching the screen, mind you. I'm like gently banging my hand on the keyboard. Trying to shake things up. Maybe, thinking to myself, I just had a hunch, maybe something got stuck in there. Maybe there's something shorting out on the motherboard. Maybe there's a tiny piece of metal somewhere sitting in a spot where it shouldn't be on the motherboard. So I just banged the keyboard like I did with the other Dell. Lightly, like a gentle, but giving a little tap. I'm giving a little tap on the keys, pushing all the keys down, and then, little chunks of food and stuff are coming out. So I vacuumed it all out. I took our wet dry vac and I just put it on blow, and I just blew air all over that computer. I took out the CD drive. I blew air in that slot. I turned it upside down. I blew air where the RAM used to be and the wireless card should be. I just blew air all over the place. And then I put a stick of RAM back in. This way, if I put a stick of RAM back in, I hit the power, and it comes on, and I know it's working. I can put the hard drive and the wireless card back in. So I put a stick of RAM back in, I hit the power button, the thing came on. So 2 computers in a row I fixed by banging them. And nothing more. Maybe a little bit more. Now, for those of you listening who are taking me literally, and hitting these computers with a hammer, don't do that. I'm talking about tapping the computer a little bit, pushing keys down on the keyboard, trying to maybe loosen something up that's stuck in a spot where it shouldn't be. So that's the mindset you have to go with when you're doing that. Not on the screen. Do not hit the screen. You know, I'm just pressing on the keyboard, and do it when the hard drive is out of the computer. Just do it when the hard drive's out of the computer. You don't want to bang the hard drive around. So, no training needed. If you want to be a computer tech, just learn how to lightly bang on things, and you'll be okay. Next computer. If you really want to make sure that you really wipe a drive out pretty clean before you install something, like maybe you had information on there that you absolutely want to make sure nobody sees, and you want to put that computer in for a customer, and you just want to clean it out, Darik's Boot and Nuke is what I use. It's on the Ultimate Boot CD on that Start menu. You don't even have to boot all the way into the Ultimate Boot CD. It's in that Start menu. I can't remember what Ben called that menu. Something like the Startup Boot menu or something like that. Darik's Boot and Nuke, if you run it like thoroughly, it takes like 3 hours to get through a whole like 80 gig or 160 gig hard drive. And that just wipes the heck out of it. So you're sure it's clean. You don't have to have anything on your conscience like, what if somebody tries to recover data off of this, or this was a customer's data was on here, what do I do? It's a great program for that. It's called Darik's Boot and Nuke. It's on the Ultimate Boot CD, but you can also just download it. It's D-A-R-I-C-K or D-A-R-I-K. I think it's D-A-R-I-C-K is how you spell his name. Larry in the chat room is asking about a mallet. No mallet. No, don't mean a rubber mallet. No mallet. I was using my hand to lightly tap on these keys and bang the keyboard a little bit. Just banging it around. Like watching the camera. Like that. Like if this is the keyboard, I was banging it like that. Okay? Let's get that clear. Okay, Trojan Remover. Let's see what I wrote here about Trojan Remover. I'm not up to that yet. Windows updates. Here's something. It seems like it's simple, but I just want to make a note of it because it was something that was happening today. A computer that's not fully updated will, of course, try to download. If it's set on automatic updates, try to download updates. Do not get confused if you have a computer and you see your hard drive just cranking away, and you see the hourglass. Your cursor turn into an hourglass for a couple seconds and go away, and a couple seconds and go away. Don't think that you're infected with spyware instantly. A lot of times that's Windows updates downloading or installing updates. So just look for the yellow shield over by by your clock in the tray, your system tray down there in the bottom right hand corner on XP and Vista. I don't know if it's a yellow shield on Vista. On XP, it's a yellow shield. Make sure that that's there running, and that shows you that updates are downloading and installing. So just don't